Hi there YouTubers, welcome back to my channel, Workshop Fun. Today I'd like to post an update about my caravan and what's been going on. I had posted an update but I took that video down as I wasn't happy with it. So to get started, I have finished the printer stand. So that was actually a fair amount of work. I built this and shaped it and did everything myself. And it is glued and bolted down, and the bolts are hidden. I've bogged over them because they're stainless and I'm not intending on removing this thing. If I ever want to, you can still. What else? You know, even the big chunky washers that are underneath, they're custom made too, and they're made out of 3mm thick stainless and glued and just bolted into place. So yeah, that was a lot of work but well worth it, and it looks lovely, and it's painted the same paint as, you know, what I've been painting everything else, so it blends in nicely. Okay, moving right along, I'd like to talk about the 2 new solar panels I've put in now, so I'll come back to you in a second. Okay, so I've got 2 new 60-watt solar panels, and today I've just put the pass-through up on the roof, and I used a MC4 connector pass-through this time, so that's quite nice. And I brought the parallel connector pack as well, and I'm just now waiting for the solar panel extension cord to arrive. I could have made them, but this time I've just opted to buy them, it's easier. And they will just simply plug in and go into go down into my spare MPPT charger. It's a 70 volt 15 amp Victron, so it's more than capable of handling these 2 60-watt panels in parallel. And oh my goodness, I must give this all the dust down sometime. It's gotten filthy up here. But anyway, so that's all done. Now I'll pause this and show you in a second how I got everything wired in. Okay, so obviously I drilled the hole on the roof, and then I turned around, after drilling the hole on the roof, I turned around and filled it with a proper sealant that's made for this kind of thing. And you know, of course, I sealed up the pass-through nicely, and that's all done now. And now that goes, so that wire runs down to a small incision that I made in the wood. And if you come down here, there you go, it's up in the corner, very much out of sight, and that's where it passes through, and then it goes down this plastic cable channel, which is sort of sitting right next to the window post, so you don't even know it's there, which is kind of cool. And then to hide it on the wooden platform here, I guess you'd call it, or the front of the caravan, I cut out this bit of timber and glued and screwed that in over the cable, and in behind that timber is a recess for the cable, and that goes out and down in behind the couch. And then of course I'll turn on my light. Okay, and then it goes into the fuse box that you can see there on the right hand side of the battery charger, and then it comes out and into the 15 amp MPPT charger. Now I've also hooked up a 40 amp breaker, and that's for future proofing if I ever want to add anything else. I've got a 20 amp resettable fuse coming, I'm just still waiting for that, so it's just temporarily hooked straight up to the 40 amp breaker, but that'll change soon. And yeah, that was nice and straightforward. I just ordered the breaker box with the breaker, and I just got a 6 amp DC breaker for that. That's more than adequate for the two 60 watt panels. And yeah, that's all largely done now, so that's coming along nicely. Very pleased with that. The other thing I've done lately is in through here I have been turning around. There we go. And put this light on too. There we go. Yeah, I've been turning around and touching this up. I made this quite a while ago and it was good, but I wanted to touch it up a little bit more. So I've done that, and I've just sort of made it a lot neater. I still got to do just a little bit more finishing off on it, but nothing major now. Then coming right along here, I've also neatened this whole area up. So this fan here was just screwed straight onto the wall and had some wooden little cutouts glued and screwed around it to try and seal it. Anyway, didn't like that. It was sort of a bit bodgy. I could have done a better job. And since then I've also learnt a lot more about caravans. Caravans, if you're not familiar with them, they need a lot of support on the walls if you're going to screw anything onto the walls. So I made this wooden cutout and cut out a nice neat hole in it for the, for the air to pass through, and glued and screwed this on. Then I just bogged over all the screws and painted it all, of course. And same with above the socket, the 4-plug socket, and same with this runner here for the cords. So that's all looking a lot more professional now. And the other day the grill turned up for this, so yeah, it's all together now and looking good. The other thing I've been doing lately is working on a way to hide the wiring that comes through here. So I've done this double board setup here and painted it the same color as the walls and everything, and so far so good. I'm going to do something to cover up these nasty marks too. That's past holes and some holes that I've made when I've drilled right through putting things on in the bathroom. Yeah, so anyway, there's some fixing up there to do. I'll come up with a way. I've got an idea in my head, so yeah. Right, so that's all done and starting to look a lot tidier. The other thing I've done lately is turned around and bought 2 of these nice glass front USB fast chargers. I had to hook them into the 240 volt, but very easy, not hard. Got that all done, and now that's also running my gateway permanently. So there's that one out here, and then there's this one here in the bedroom. So that's really nice to have. And the other thing I've done, so this has been the surprise. This vinyl is going to go right the way across. I've been talking about it for a long time, but I haven't told you what vinyl I'm using. So this is the vinyl that's going to go across, and there's my nice stainless steel trim just running down the corner. And then in here, that's why these holes are here. This is where the cabinet will go. The cabinet that came with the caravan, that'll go back in. And yeah, it's going to look pretty cool. So that's all done. The other things that I've been doing is just, you know, making simple caps, which ain't simple actually, but making caps to cap over the original heater ducts, which that heater's no longer in here. It hasn't been in here for, I don't know, since I've owned it anyway. I didn't pull it out, somebody else did, and they put this set of drawers and cupboard in, which to me is way better. All I need for a heater, if I want to do that, is get myself a diesel heater. One of those nice little diesel heaters will be ample for this lovely caravan. So, what else has been happening lately? Well, that's already quite a bit in itself. The other thing that I have done lately is this here used to be full of obsolete 12 volt stuff, like the 12 volt and 240 volt, the thermostat controller for the big heater that used to be in here, the fuse for that, a 12 volt outlet, and old TV aerial outlet, which all is obsolete today, and I won't be having a TV in here anyway. I've got my iMac that I watch the internet on. So that's all, you know, set up and, that's all been ripped out and thrown away, and I cut this bit of matching timber out and have carefully glued that on. So that was a bit of a job, but it's all done now. Then I also removed as much of the ducting on the floors in here and in the cupboards and all that as possible. Underneath the floors I've left the original ducting, so that just plugs the holes basically and keeps it looking tidy and stops drafts getting in and all that jazz. But soon I'm going to plug the holes in here. But, you know, I got extra space in there now, which is great. Can't use it at the moment because it'll just fall down a hole, but hey, we won't get too technical. Anyway, so that's all done. So, yeah, all up, lots and lots of little things have been getting done. The other thing that I didn't show you last time is I got my auto start stop relay on the Cerebro, or Cerebro, but I also have a manual one, and I needed a way to turn off these fans when I'm working underneath here or tidying up or whatever. So now all I do is go to off on the manual relay, and now the fans are going off. There we go. And my goodness, that is covered in dust. And we'll quickly close that back up. Right, we'll turn it back on. So, yeah. Oh, that's the other thing I had to do too, is I had to wire up the last USB to VE direct cable so I could see my 2 times 60 watt panels on the Cerebro. That was neither here nor there, but yeah, a little bit of work. So that's all done now. Yeah. So lately it's just been lots of details. I'm getting through everything, and it's starting to really come together now. There's still some major work to do on the floor. Most of the structural work on the walls is done now, so that's really good. And then there is the bathroom ceiling. That's got to be done too. So it's all getting there, bit by bit. So anyway, I hope everybody has a happy new year. If you have any questions, feel free to ask and I'll try my best to answer them. And yeah, catch you later.